obviously we're just super excited about Friday. I've said all along, we have an older team, a lot of experience, a lot of innings and at-bats under our belt. And kids have done a great job. We had a really good team segment in the fall. They've done a great job in the spring. So we're excited to play on Friday. I'll just kind of start with an injury update. I don't know if I've announced it, but Antoine Jean had Tommy John surgery in July, so he won't pitch this year. A lot of people have been asking about Garrett McMillan. He's got a muscle strain. He'll be out for a period of time. Don't really know exactly till he starts rehabbing and gets going, but he'll pitch again this year. And Aiden Moza is a transfer reliever that we really like. He had a bone spur taken out in December, so he's probably a month-ish away from helping us, but he'll certainly be in the mix when he gets back. So again, excited about the weekend. Richmond has a really older club. It's probably something you'll hear me say every week going forward, but I think they have 9 of their top 10 hitters back, their entire weekend rotation back. Look at the 3 kids that are going to start against us. 2 of them are college graduates, and the other kids are juniors. So typically older kids are more consistent, and I'm sure they'll throw strikes and put the ball in play. And we're going to have to make pitches and string some at-bats together to win. But again, just excited about our club and can't wait to get out there on Friday.
You talked about your experience. Just what does it mean to have 8 position starters back this season?
It means everything. It's this group's been incredibly low maintenance, and I think when some of your best players are the hardest workers and the best competitors and prepared the right way, just incredibly easier as a coach. And I tell our young players all the time, both positionally and on the mound, there's just some great examples in our program of how to go about your business, including these 2 guys. And I think the way that they take care of business on a daily basis is probably more impactful than anything that I could say or do as a coach. So really appreciate our older players, and they've done a great job so far.
You said it was a veteran squad this year, but have you noticed anything different about them?
Well, we're better. I think they're all incrementally better. When you have kids that have talent, they have the right mentality. They keep getting better, and everybody wants to talk about who's going to be the breakout superstar and all that. And I think probably what you're going to see out of our club is just most everybody is going to be just incrementally better than they were last year. So it's really the word I just keep using with this group is just such a mature group. Just not just the way that they work and prepare, the way they respond, or just to this point have been incredibly consistent. And if we can maintain that, once we stub our toe a little bit and have some ups and downs, and I think we got a chance to have a good season.
So as far as veteran leadership goes, obviously had a lot of young guys come in this year for the recruiting class. How have you kind of seen your veterans in the clubhouse, I guess you could say, take those guys under their wings? And are there any young guys we should be on the lookout for come this weekend? Maybe see the field or get an opportunity.
Yeah, it's probably a better question for these guys because I think what happens in the locker room and away from the field is probably even more impactful than on the field. But we like our new group, and I hate saying when people out, but Colby Shelton's an infielder that you're going to see a lot early. That's just been really consistent throughout the fall, and then the preseason has kind of put me in a position where I just got to play him. And there's some other guys doing a good job. Jackson West has swung the bat well on the mound. Riley Quick is kind of different, just a big-bodied kid with a really mid-90s sinker that's a tough pitch to square up. And Brock Blatter is another freshman pitcher that has really had a good preseason camp. So, again, there are others, but those guys are going to get some opportunity early and often.
With McMillan out, obviously Grayson Hitt's going to be the Friday starter. How much confidence do you have in him, and how confident are you in the rotation you have for this weekend?
Yeah, I feel great about the front end of the game. I would put those 3 guys with Hitt, Hess, and McNairy up against most anybody. So, I think as we go into the season, the big question marks for this group is, can we be better offensively, because we haven't been as good as we need to be offensively the last couple of years, and who's going to close the games out. And historically, I've always tried to keep one of our best couple of guys for the back end of the game, because I don't think there's anything more detrimental to a team than losing games late. In the last 3 years, we've used Chase Lee and Dylan Ray to close games out, and those guys are pretty darn good. Probably both going to pitch in the big league. So You know, I like the depth we have on the mound. We've got a lot of arm talent. You know, I certainly have an idea of what we'll do on Friday if the game's, you know, tight late, but, you know, that's the other big thing we gotta do is figure out how to close games out.
You guys have a hole at third base after last season, saying transferring. How has that position been? Have you decided like who, you're at least a few guys that could be playing there this week?
Yeah, I mean, we got multiple options, you know, Colby Shelton, Ed Johnson, Bryce Evelyn can play third, Mason Swinney's a freshman that's worked over there, so, you know, I think all of those guys will get some opportunity at times, and, you know, historically, I don't think there's any secret, there's 3 or 4 guys that are gonna play most every game, and, you know, I really, in my mind, going into the season, I think we have, you know, 11, 12, 13 guys that are starters, you know, and we'll use some different combinations early, we've got some left and right, and can mix a little bit, and just kind of see where it goes.
For the players, going back to that question a little bit ago, just what have you seen from the young guys, and have you, older guys, should have bring them along?
Repeat the question.
No, just earlier we were talking about the young guys, and Coach said it's a question that you guys can answer pretty well. Just as an older guy, have you tried to help bring them along, and what have you seen from them?
Oh yeah, I mean, we bring them, you know, under our wing. I would say in the dining hall, you know, we don't treat them any different because they're freshmen. I mean, they have the talent to play, so, I mean, we take them under our wing and, yeah.
I would basically say like they make it pretty easy on us because pretty much every single one of them came in like wanting to really play and wanting to learn. So like there's nothing we really have to do. Like we don't have to go out of our way to like help them out as much as like you would think. Like he said, Colby Shelton came in and was just like rock solid. Like he had a crazy good foundation before he got here, and he just kept getting better. Like he puts up, he could probably answer that better than me. Like every time I'm playing defense against him, you never know where the ball's gonna go because it's gonna get hit hard, it's gonna get put in play. But they all just like are really excited and really want to be here. So like, there's not much work that we really have to do. And building off of what Coach Bo said, like we all kind of just can go out there and play, and they all just follow along. Like we have a pretty good foundation set of like how we want to go about things, and they just bought into it real fast. So,
Jacob, I've heard you guys have started calling Ben Hess Heater. Where did that nickname come from?
I think you'll be able to see him Saturday, but he throws pretty hard. I mean, so that's how he does it.
Oh, Coach, I wanted to ask you about Grayson Hitt. Obviously, keeping up with the MLB draft pipeline, I've read a lot of things where he's jumped up boards. I think he's the number 43 prospect right now on their draft pipeline. Added a cutter, I believe, this offseason. What do you look for him this season?
I think Grayson's going to have a great season. You know, somebody we have a lot of confidence in, and you know, the way his career's gone is like the normal progression. You know, it's not supposed to be easy early on, and you know, Grayson came in and had a lot of talent, and his stuff, meaning like his velocity and the quality of his, you know, secondary pitches was better than his command, and we knew that going into it. He's a really good kid. He's a really good athlete by pitching standards. And he wants to be good, and he's gradually gotten better. So I'm not surprised that he's made a jump, but you know, he is throwing a little harder and he's commanding the ball a little better. And you know, you put all that together and you're talking about a kid that's got a really good body frame. He's athletic, he throws hard, and he's got a 90-mile-an-hour cutter that's, you know, really tough to square up, you know. So he's the least of our worries. He's going to do a great job for us this year.
Okay, Coach, going off of that, you have some high praise for Grayson Hitt. He started on Sundays last year. This year, we used some first series he started on Friday. What was your mindset going in thinking he's going to be my Friday starter, or did you consider someone else for that position?
Yeah, I mean, we considered, you know, multiple guys. Obviously, you know, G-Mac being out for a little bit had an impact on it. You know, I told the kids this, that, you know, in their minds, they kind of think that we pick the starters, like whoever pitches on Fridays, who we think is our best guy, and then number 2 is on Saturday, and number 3 is on Sunday. And, you know, like I mentioned, I've always been inclined to keep one of the better guys on the back end. So, yeah, I think probably ended up just going with Grayson in the opener, number 1, because he's really good, and 2, he was a weekend starter last year. So he's got that experience, you know, taking the ball in an SEC game. So, you know, who's going to be better at winning the game, is it Grayson or Ben or Jacob? You know, I'll let you know in about 6 weeks. But we kind of think every time any of those three pitch that we're going to win.
The SEC announced the rule change today regarding the game clock and the 10-run mercy rules. Wanted to know your thoughts on those new rules that came out today.
I'm going to go no comment on that.
Fair enough. Jim, you guys still doing the book club this year? Or you guys retired that after last season?
Yeah, we're just focusing on baseball right now.
Fair enough.
Anything else?
Coach, you have a quarterback on your roster in Dylan Lonergan. Just what are your plans for him this season, and what are your thoughts on him as a player?
Yeah, we saw Dylan pitch in high school the last couple of summers, and you know, he's somebody that we would have recruited if he wasn't a football player. So, you know, right now he's really focusing on just kind of getting acclimated, and you know, he had a surgery at the end of football season, so just rehabbing that. So we're anxious to get him healthy and get him out with us. And you know, I can't imagine being you know, a senior in high school and being in Alabama and playing football and playing baseball and rehabbing an injury and meeting your friends and all that. So, you know, Dylan's been great at this point of, you know, kind of just getting comfortable and getting healthy, and you know, we'll move forward from there.
Do you foresee him being in your plans for later this season when he is healthy?
I think it's too early to get into all that. You know, really just got to get him healthy and see, you know, what all he's going to do football-wise and baseball. But, you know, Coach Saban's always been great in the past with the dual players, and, you know, we'll just kind of take it a week at a time.
All good? All right.